In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 habits that will make you unstoppable by 2026. Whether you're just starting in your confidence journey or you're looking for ways to level up, these 3 habits will help you not only build your confidence, but also sustain it. Confidence is not something you're born with, right? It's something that you have to cultivate daily through your actions and through your habits and just overall who you are. And if you haven't done it yet, go and watch my previous video where I explain in depth what real confidence looks like and how you can acquire it. Now, before we dive in, let's quickly talk about the importance of habits when it comes to building and sustaining actual real confidence. Habits shape our identity, right? And they create the foundation for how we see ourselves. So the small things that you do every day, they actually compound over a certain amount of time and have a massive impact on your self-esteem. And of course, also on your self-respect. So when you consistently engage in these healthy and positive habits, or even if it's just trying something new you're shit at or that you're bad at, but you become better over time, your confidence, let me tell you, skyrockets because you begin to see yourself in a new and more empowered way. So without further ado, here are the 3 habits that I believe every confident woman should practice. And stay tuned until the end because I'm also going to share a bonus tip that will absolutely change how you trust and believe in yourself. The first habit is one that has completely transformed the way that I approach my day and how I feel about myself. And it is mindset work. I know you've probably heard about this work before, but I'm here to tell you it works, especially when you do it consistently, right? Because consistency is what makes the work. Confidence starts with how you talk to yourself. So we've all experienced moments where that little voice in our head says things like, I'm not good enough, or I'll probably fail, I'll probably be shit at this anyway. And if we're not mindful, those negative thoughts can start to dominate our self image quicker than you think. So you see, your thoughts create your reality, right? So you've probably heard of Buddha's famous quote, "We are what we think." All that we are arises within our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. And the more you tell yourself something, the more it starts to shape your beliefs. If you keep feeding your mind negative or self limiting beliefs, believe me, those beliefs will manifest as your truth. And limiting beliefs have been indoctrinated into us since our childhood. Thus, they are ingrained in our subconscious mind and rule our everyday life, right? And this is why simple affirmations do not work. Your beliefs are not going to change simply because you have told yourself you're beautiful or you're good enough this day, today, a few days in a row, right? Deep mindset and behavioral work, however, they help you rewire your brain by replacing those negative thoughts with empowering ones. And your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. So it doesn't matter whether your limitations came from your caregivers, from your parents, from your teachers, from your peers, or from yourself, from your friends. It doesn't matter. The thing that matters is that if you want to change, if you want to create real confidence and self-belief, you've got to take action now. Yourself. By rewiring your synapses and creating an empowering reality and experiences around you, you literally train your brain to believe in your own greatness again. And again, this is why anyone who promises you that you should simply do affirmations every morning is lying out of their ass. Sorry, not sorry. It's not enough to just say these words. You have to actually feel them. You have to embody the statements that you want to be true. And they don't become true just because you have repeated them several times in the morning or in the evening after or before you sleep, but then you proceed to fuck around again the rest of the day, right? Let me give you a specific example. Let's say, if you keep telling yourself you're good enough, but every day you choose less than the bare minimum for yourself. No, you're not good enough. Sorry to break it to you. You are not good just the way you are. You need to do more. You need to do better. And I'm going to tell you this straight up. You need to be better. Shift your mindset, shift your actions, and you will shift your reality about yourself and your outer external world. If you go on and choose to rather sleep in until 11 a.m. than get a beautiful early morning, if you decide to skip the gym because you're being lazy, if you're doing one of the 5 chores you plan to do and call it a day, if you rather order in because you feel like cooking takes too long, if you do not drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water a day because you just forgot or you just weren't thirsty, then no. You are not confident. You are not self reliable. You are not good enough. You have no self respect. And you don't stand true to your word. And fuck no, your affirmations will not change shit because your actions, your embodiment tells me the complete opposite. If you're new to mindset work, journaling can also be a good starting opportunity for you because it lets you see things that you might not see while the thoughts are all crammed up in your head, right? If you're a visual learner, this is perfect as well because you see it with your own eyes. It makes it easier to reframe negative thoughts because you have them right in front of you. Okay? You cannot ignore them and push them back like you do within your own head. See where your beliefs are coming from. Write them out one by one. Do I not feel pretty? Do you feel not good enough? Do you feel like no one loves you? Do you feel like you're always alone? Do you feel like you're not worthy? Anything. Write it down. Realize that this doesn't have to be your reality, right? If it was in your childhood, if it still is now, or if it never was and people just drilled it into you, it doesn't matter. What matters is, how do you move forward? You want to change it? Okay, cool. Where can you begin? Replace your old beliefs with new ones, and then you practice. When you catch yourself thinking something like, I'm not smart enough to do this, reframe it immediately by saying, I'm fully capable and I can learn what I don't know, right? It's a small shift, and this small shift makes a big difference over time. But again, you've got to embody it while you're reframing it, right? You cannot just tell it to yourself and then do the opposite. Change your habits, change your actions and behaviors in order to align with those beliefs that you're trying to implant in yourself. And a personal example of mine would be that I believed I was not being loved my whole life by anyone. So I thought affirmations would change that, right? I started telling myself I love myself so much every day, but guess what? Nothing changed. You know why? Because my actions and my behaviors that I chose every day proved the complete opposite. If I really loved myself, why was I still in toxic situationships? If I really loved myself, why was I still surrounding myself with people and friends who call themselves my best friends, who were fake and unfair towards me, who bashed me constantly or who made snarky remarks, who went behind my back, who secretly hated me? If I loved myself, why was I choosing fast food and takeaway over a freshly, healthy, home-cooked meal? If I loved myself, why would I rather lie in bed and watch Netflix all day than going to the gym or being outside or overall doing something, anything productive? If I loved myself, why would I not shower when I knew I needed to, or settled for looking like a mess leaving the house because I was too lazy to put myself together, even if I'm just running to the gas station real quick, even if I'm just running to the store real quick. If I really loved myself, why would I not respect myself? And how can I expect to feel loved by others if I don't even truly feel loved by myself? Think about that. The second habit is embodiment through physical movement. So since I just mentioned how important embodiment is, the second habit is embodiment through physical movement. So I'm talking about moving your body with purpose, whether that's yoga, whether that's Pilates, going for a walk, going to the gym, or even dancing in front of your mirror, any other sport that you're doing, like boxing or whatever, running, it doesn't matter. It's all about how you physically carry yourself, because your body language directly affects how you feel on the inside, right? And this habit works because when you move your body intentionally, you start to embody confidence. You're getting that energy moving, flowing in your body, right? This is actually scientifically backed. When you take up more space and stand tall, your brain actually releases chemicals like testosterone, and it actually does lower your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. That means the simple act of moving with intention literally changes your brain chemistry to make you feel more confident. For example, if I'm walking around like this, right? If I'm making a video like this, talking to you guys right now, I'm automatically making myself small and unattractive, and my ego is picking that up. I literally make myself feel less attractive and confident, right? But if I walk like this and I show that I'm secure within myself, I immediately feel better. You feel more comfortable watching me talk and listening to me, right? It's giving another energy, it's another texture. As mentioned before, you take up space. I take up space and I stand tall. And apart from deep mindset work, it's little things like this, little habits, little details like that trick your brain into already thinking that you are confident. So how can you implement it? Now, you don't need to do anything complicated or time consuming to get started, right? Like I said, it already starts with your posture or the way you talk. For me, I go to the gym 5 times a week, and it helps me feel connected to my body. But even just standing in a power pose for 2 minutes can make a huge difference. Try standing with your feet firmly planted, your shoulders back, chest open, hands on your hips, and it sends a signal to your brain that you are strong and capable and ready to take on the world, right? We all know that Superman pose, that Dr. Derek Shepherd in Grey's Anatomy, right? If you just stand 2 minutes like this, it tricks your brain into thinking that it's confident because you are taking on that posture, that embodiment. Another simple practice is walking with intention. When you walk, imagine that you're walking into a room full of opportunity and abundance. Lift your head up, roll your shoulders back, and walk as if you are already owning the space. It's a subtle change, but it immediately shifts how you feel about yourself. And let me tell you how this worked for me. There were times when I would walk into the room, into any room really, feeling so unsure about myself. I slouched over, I avoided eye contact, and I just kept my head down, right? I just avoided looking at anybody. I just immediately went straight to where I had to go. I felt small. But when I started working on embodiment and just standing tall and moving my body with confidence, I felt a massive shift, and I started actually getting compliments on a weekly basis of, you have such great energy and you seem so confident. bear in mind that was from such random people, right? People that I didn't know, and oftentimes from men just noticing it, not just women, right? And that's when I realized it wasn't just about how I felt, it was about how I showed up physically that was changing the way that others perceived me as well. And I remember specifically this one moment where my boyfriend and I, we were in San Francisco, and we were just standing in front of the hotel. We were about to go to a concert. Anyways, there was this guy that walked by, and he was actually rushing, but he's just stopped and apologized to us because he had to tell me how beautiful my energy was. He was like, I'm so sorry to my boyfriend, but I have to tell you how beautiful you are and how beautiful your energy is. Compliments like that just make your day, and it just confirms the confidence that you have, right? It just confirms how everything that you're putting, the time and the money and everything that you're investing in yourself, it actually works. Like it expands outside of you. It influences other people. And it doesn't only make people outside of you notice it, but you notice it. You feel different. Your embodiment is different, right? You actually become this super confident person. And the people around you can feel it. You're influencing others, not only yourself, you're influencing others with it. And that's the beautiful thing about it as well. The third habit, and one that I believe is not only a non-negotiable for confident women, but also for people in life in general, is setting boundaries. Boundaries are essential for protecting your energy, your time, and your mental health. And confident women know how to say no when they need to. And they aren't afraid to protect themselves from energy drainers and these energy vampires or toxic situations, whatever you want to call it. But they also don't shy away from being honest. I am intentionally not saying brutally honest because let's face it, the only people who think it's brutal to simply say no to something, who think it's rude to disagree with something or to simply being against something when the masses are not, are the same ones who cannot handle the full truth. There is nothing brutal about the truth unless you're being dishonest with yourself in some way and it triggers you. Those are also the same people who think being honest equals being mean, when in reality, being honest is being authentic. It's being respectful towards yourself and other people. It's being kind. It's being loyal to yourself. It's being confident because you are speaking your mind and you don't shy away from it. There's a huge difference between being honest and mean and just being honest. I have met honest and mean people who have hidden behind the I'm just being honest, I'm just being straight up. No, they were actually mean at the same time. I've had friends like that. I've had people around me like that. But there's a huge difference to being honest and still respecting the other person, being honest for the good, for your own good and for their own good. When you set clear boundaries, you are communicating to yourself and others that you value yourself, right? There's nothing disrespectful about that. This builds your confidence because it reinforces your sense of worth. And saying no to things that drain you or don't align with your values actually allows you to focus on what truly matters. And this just shows that you respect your time and energy and others' as well, which are the ultimate forms of self-love and self-respect, right? And this is our goal here. This is what creates unconditional confidence because you love, respect, trust, and value yourself enough to have your own back no matter what. To implement it, start small. Start by practice saying no to things that don't serve you, even if it feels uncomfortable at first, right? You don't have to explain yourself or feel guilty about it. If they ask for you to explain, you can. But know that it's not always your obligation unless it's something serious, of course. Sometimes you do owe people an explanation without them having to ask. For example, if someone asks you to do something that feels overwhelming or unnecessary, you can simply say, I appreciate your offer, but I'm not interested. Like, no. It can be as simple as that. There are people out there who are giving you the advice of replacing the I'm simply not interested with I have other commitments right now. And let me tell you, do not lie. I used to say that all the time. I have other commitments. I have to do this. No, I'm already having plans. Blah 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 blah. If you lie, it isn't going to reinforce anything positive. The only thing that will happen is that you shy away from being completely honest and standing by your word. You lie to yourself and others, which means you lose self-respect over time because you are making up excuses instead of standing your ground, right? You're completely contradicting yourself again. So you're not rewiring your subconscious again because your words do not match your actions. And another thing is make a habit of checking in with yourself before you agree to something. You just ask yourself, is this aligned with my goals? Does this actually speak to me? Is this going to do me any good? Or is this going to drain me? Whatever the situation is, confident women understand the power of protecting their energy and time, right? This is not some woke spiritual movement expression. Energy is literally all around us, and we ourselves are made up of energy as well. So feeling drained is a real thing. People and experiences draining you is a real thing. Play around with that, all right? Now, let me give you a personal example for this again. In the past, I was a huge people pleaser. I would say yes to almost everything. I would agree with everyone, even if it meant overextending myself, bending myself over backwards. And it just left me so exhausted and so resentful to the people and to myself and questioning my own worth. But once I started setting actual boundaries and saying no to things or just saying yes, but that didn't to things that didn't align with me, I found that I had way more energy, more time for the things that actually matter to me. And I felt so much more in control of my life. Now I have clear boundaries that protect my peace, and that has made all the difference in my confidence. Ask my partner, ask my friends, ask my family, or other people, for example, if they ask me something that doesn't align with me or I can do it, I simply reply with no or no thank you, but I appreciate it. Or just a simple no is already a whole sentence, right? It's not being rude. I mean it nicely. I'm not having an attitude, but just no. Or no, I don't want that. No, I don't want to do it. I do not make up a story. I do not justify myself with a huge message and explaining myself. I simply say no. Just the other day, I had a brand contact me for me to become an ambassador for them, but it just didn't align with me. So I simply said, I appreciate the offer, but I'm not interested. Thank you. And if they want to know why my answer is no, they can ask. If not, that's fine too. But don't spiral and make shit up, right? There's no point in that. Now, before we get to the end of the video, for the bonus tip, one of the most important tools I've ever learned to build confidence is to establish your word as law. This means that every time you make a promise to yourself, you keep it. When you say you're going to wake up at 7 a.m., you do it. When you say you're going to work out, you follow through. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken the trust between your mind and your body. But when you stick to your word, you build an unshakable sense of self-trust. Confidence comes mainly from self-trust. So when you consistently show up for yourself, you prove that you can rely on yourself. And this discipline creates harmony between your mind and your body. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable because you know you will always follow through on your word. And to implement this, you can again start with small promises. So if you tell yourself you're going to drink more water today, drink more water today. If you say that you will take 10 minutes for self care, don't skip it. Build trust with yourself, one promise at a time. And over time, you will realize that keeping your word to yourself is the foundation of real confidence. So, there you have it. These are the three habits every confident woman should be adopting. And I promise if you commit to them, plus the bonus that I gave you, they will completely transform how you see yourself and how others see you. So, first, again, we have mindset work to rewire your thoughts for confidence. Second, we have embodiment through physical movement to align your body and your mind. The third one is setting boundaries to protect your energy and actually respect the worth that you're building up for yourself. And of course, don't forget the bonus tip, which is establish your word as law, because confidence comes from trusting yourself. And you cannot be trusting yourself if you don't even follow through on your word. So go ahead and use these tools to step into your most confident self. And I'll see you in the next video.